Alright, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a creeper farm that puts off quite a lot of gunpowder. And the first thing you want to be doing is getting up high. I recommend 196 to 200, not higher because you might end up hitting the build height. Alright, what you're going to want to do is start with a 4x4 with a 2x2 hole in the middle, just like here, and extend out 8 blocks in this direction, followed by 8 blocks here, followed by another 8 blocks, and finally another 8 blocks. Right after you've done that, what you're going to want to do is connect them all together. There's going to be a few cuts in the video, but just make sure it looks how it looks in the video. Yep, just connect them like this. So you should have something like this, a square with all these little rectangle shapes in the middle. You're going to want to fill them in, just like so. After you've filled them in, you should have something like this, still with your 2x2 hole in the middle. What you're going to want to do is build a 1 high barrier around it now. Once you've built your 1 high barrier, you're going to want to follow it up with some stairs on top of it, just like so. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build another 4x4 just above this, but you're going to want to fill in the hole, and you're going to need to make an infinite water source. This is very important because it saves you running back and forwards getting water. You just put the water like this, and now it is an infinite water source. And you're going to want to waterlog all the stairs, except for the corners. You don't have to do the corners. You just want to waterlog them like this. Now that you've waterlogged them, you can get rid of your water source. You don't need it anymore. Once that is done, you should have something like this. Now what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to walk to a corner, go 1 from the corner, 1 block from the corner, and put up 4 blocks, like so. Now you're going to want to extend 14 by 14, so 14 out this way. If done correctly, you should have a 2 gap from the stairs. So if you look at your stairs, you'll have a 2 gap. Not including the stairs, you should have a gap between the block and the stairs, which is 2. Once that is done, you're going to want to extend out another 14 blocks. Then again, checking that you have that 2 gap. And then extend out another 14 blocks, but this time you should only have 1 block gap. Then connect it back up. Alright, now you're going to want to make your little grids, make one block apart, like so. Skip another block, do another one, skip a block, do another one. You should have a grid like this. Now what you're going to do is follow through in the middle, again making 1 block gaps right to the end, like so. After you've done that, you should have something like this. you want to build another one on top of it, just like this. Once you've done that, you should have 2, and you want to build another 4 on top, just like this. They all should match up on top, so in total you should have 6 grids. Right after you've done that, you're going to want to put your trapdoors all along the side. This step can be very time consuming, but it's all worth it. You make a lot of gunpowder. You should have trapdoors all along the outside like this. And now what you want to do is put buttons every second block. Starting from the corner, every second block you want to put a button. This stops spiders from spawning. You don't have to put the buttons there, but if you don't want spiders, put the buttons there. Spiders, they clog up the spawner, they get really annoying. Alright, once you've done that, you should have something that looks like this. Now what you're going to want to do is, in every one of these holes, put a trapdoor and open it. Make sure they all face the same direction. If they don't face the same direction, your spawner gets clogged up, then you're going to need to fix it, because just your mobs won't be dropping in. So just make sure they're all facing the same directions. We're putting trapdoors here because mobs see trapdoors as a full block and they walk over them and then they'll fall through. Just follow like this. Alright, once you've done this, you'd have something that looks like this. They should all be facing the same direction. Now what you're going to do is, above the block that does not have a button, put a trapdoor like so. You're going to want to do this for every block that does not have a button on the level that you're working on. This is so that only creepers spawn. This is because creepers aren't 2 blocks high. Like if you compare them to zombies, skeletons, witches and stuff, they aren't the same height. And the game must like register this as, you know, not 2 blocks high. It must be like 1.7 blocks high, and then it will spawn a creeper or something like that. I don't really know how it works, but I know if you do this, only creepers will spawn on these levels. But this is good anyway, because this means you can select what mobs you want to spawn on what levels. And I'll further explain that in the video. But anyway, just keep going. Make sure you're putting your trapdoors above the blocks that don't have buttons on them, like so. Alright, once you've done that, you should have something like this. Just double check to make sure they're all in line. If you look on them, they should all be in line. Anyway, what you want to go to do now is just follow that for every single level. So you're going to want to do trapdoors, buttons on every level like so, like this. And again, making sure your trapdoors that are in your holes are all facing the same direction. This is crucial. Now what you're going to want to do is build up 2 blocks. So you have this 2 block high gap in the middle. Now what you want to do is go out 14 by 14. You're going to want to go from each corner out 10, so out 10 this way, out 10 this way, out 10 in this one, out 10 here. You're going to want to do this for every corner. So here we go again, doing another 10. Once you've done all your 10s, you're going to want to connect them all together, like this. This will be our roof for the spawner, so it makes it dark so we can have the mobs spawning at all the times and not just night time. Alright, once you've done that, you should have something that looks like this. Now what you're going to want to do is fill it in, like so. Alright, after you've filled it in, you should have something like this. Once you've filled it in with blocks, you're going to want to cover the top in slabs as well. This is to stop mobs spawning on top of it. And as you just saw, there was a zombie on the top level. I recommend keeping the top level roof with no trapdoors. This way you get some sort of mob variation, you don't just get creepers. You can do it just creepers if you can do it just trapdoors if you just want creepers. But I recommend keeping it, level clear from trapdoors so you do get the zombies, the skeletons, all that stuff. Now what you're going to do is you're going to build down so you have a platform. You can also choose to build it down further so they die instantly when they fall down, or you can choose to build it a little higher but build a mob grinder at the top. Alright, the step we're doing here is we're making a platform for the creepers, the zombies and the skeletons to fall on. As you can see, it's actually spawning quite a bit of mobs because they just keep falling. You want to do pistons like this with a redstone torch on the side of all the pistons, and then observers facing the pistons coming off the redstone torch, so you should see a little arrow facing the pistons, like so. I also recommend using chests and hoppers for this setup, as you can just go AFK and the loot will just build up in the chests. You can also build a little platform to stand on. Can be bigger than this. This one's actually a really small platform. And you want to put your last observer here, get a switch, flick the switch, then throw your trident on a dispenser, and then flick the switch again. Now this is automatic. The trident doesn't lose durability from this at all. Alright, now you want to lower the tunnel down so your mobs don't get out, like so. Damn creepers. So once you've lowered the tunnel down, the mobs can't get out. However, baby zombies can still get out, so they're a threat. You can also hold a looting 3 sword. Any looting, doesn't have to be looting 3, but looting 3 is the best. And the looting 3 effect will apply to the trident. After sitting here for about 10 minutes, this is the loot that we had from the spawner. So about stack and a half of gunpowder. Alright, and with saying that, that's the end of the video. I hope you did like it. This is very useful for a survival world, as you get a lot of gunpowder. And I'll see you in the next one.